Welcome back, Spartans. This is JAG, aka Leonidas, and on today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to complete the Sparky Duo challenge, what deck to use, and how to win with this deck. As always, a couple things before we start. Check out my Facebook page, Twitter, and Discord. Links are in the description down below. Same thing goes if you're interested in joining either the main or feeder clan. Now, this deck may or may not work for you. I used this deck and went 9-1, and my one loss I played pretty bad. Proof essentially is on the screen. So I've got 3 videos for today. The first replay is going to show general deck play and strategy. The second replay is going to show how to face a Rocket E-Dragon deck, which was essentially the hardest deck that I was able to face throughout the 9 wins. And then the third replay is going to show how to take advantage of your ranged attacking units within your deck, because they're going to be crucial at certain times of the match and in certain matches. Now, we're going to jump to the deck, and as you can see, it is right here. So I'm going to talk about this deck and why I chose certain cards. So skip ahead if you just want to watch the replays, essentially. This is just more for background knowledge. So the average deck elixir of this is 3.8. The deck was designed for shutting down Sparky and getting damage at the tower, i.e. the Rocket, the E-Wiz, and the Zap. Now, all other cards are countering your air, so your Magic Archer, or for pushes like your Mega Knight. Lumberjack is a decent DPS defense with a Rage offense, allowing for some brutal Sparky combo. Now, finally, let's start the replays. Alright, so this is your first, or at least my first replay that I'm going to be covering, which is going to be your general deck strategy for this, and kind of what you want to do. So there's 2 things for this, whether you have the Rocket in your hand and the Rocket not in your hand. As far as Rocket in the hand, easy enough. Always use it on that tower. Get both of those Sparkies. It'll kill it instantly, as long as it's level 9. And then you're going to get damage on the tower. Option, when you don't have it in your hand, is essentially play counter, play some defensive. I mean, you got Zap, which you'll be able to use against Sparky to then hopefully allow your Sparkies to kill theirs. That's one option. The other one is you can use your Magic Archer combo with your Mega Knight as well. So, kind of just the 2 options. Like you see, if you got the Rocket in the hand, use it, take out Sparkies, do damage on the tower. Worst case scenario, you don't. Try and use the Zaps and let the others, your Sparkies, take out their Sparkies, kind of thing. But that's basically your 2 options right off the bat during the match. Other than that, when you kind of look at it, you can use your Magic Archer if you get it close to the bridge to actually hit their tower and do some damage. You're going to also want to keep them for the E-Dragon. That's the hardest one as far as troop-wise that I found, at least against my deck, counter-wise. And otherwise, if you have something like a Royal Giant, which I didn't see, well, I saw a few of, but not too many. You got your E-Wiz, and then you can use little skeletons, or even your Rage Barb to stop him and then try and do a counter push. Rage Barb, whole reason I incorporated in this deck, for anyone who didn't listen to at least my little explanation, was that he's great for defense, does a lot of damage, and at the same time, when you go on the other side, then you're going to get some Rage ability that's going to be dropped, and that's going to come in pretty handy later on. So in the case of this, there's a bit more strategy going to this deck. There's 2 options. So there's one is that they've got a Rocket as well, and now you come into kind of like a Rocket versus Rocket cycle on the towers. That you're going to want to kind of make, I guess, you're going to want to use your log in that case. If they don't have the log, then that's going to work great, because you're going to get that little bit of extra damage every single time you use it. And then if they do have the log, then it's really going to come down to a little bit of countering play, depending on what the cards they use. And just trying to focus a little bit more on one tower so you can kind of beat them just at the last minute right before the game ends. So, but we'll see that a little bit later anyways. So in this game, really just came down to me using the Rocket and defending enough against the Royal Giant. I thought it was a pretty good play, because the Royal Giant, you're really going to have to drop a few cards for just to counter on. But otherwise, I thought this was a good match, at least for showing them without a Rocket, and then we're going to see later one with one. Again, deck's not too hard to use or get the hang of. Pretty self-explanatory as well, so this replay is just more general concept for anyone who really needs it and who's not more of an advanced player. Alright, so we're going to move on to the second one. So this one I was showing that basically you're going to be facing a Rocket E-Dragon deck, which is going to be the hardest matchup. I mean, there's going to be variations, but that's going to be the toughest one. As I was mentioning in the previous replay, the first one is use that Rocket. If you got it in hand, take out those Sparkies, do damage. You're going to see both of us do it at the same time. Well, essentially both at the same time. and we're going to get damage from the tower, and the Sparkies are going to become null and void. One thing I forgot to mention actually on the first replay, so you can go back and check if you want. The Sparkies, there's two options. They'll either split around the tower, or they'll both go on the same tower, and then you got to be careful, because if you use that rocket and you miss and you'll get only one Sparky, that could be an issue, so just keep an eye out for that. I actually missed on mine in the first one, but that was one of my first replays, and once I saw that later, I at least learned from it kind of thing. You could also use the zap if you really need to keep the Sparkies closer to the rocket if you feel that you're gonna miss the damage for the tower or the Sparkies, kind of either or scenario. So keep that in mind as well. In this case, the main thing for me is, since I saw that they had a rocket as well, I'm trying to get log damage at that tower as much as possible on top of the rocket, so I can at least knock them down a little more. Now they had the log as well, so makes it a little bit difficult, but in this case then it's just kind of balancing off of your other cards that you have too, like the E-Wiz, which has a little bit of a range attack, your Magic Archer, if you can place it properly, a little bit of a range attack, and then trying to take full advantage of that Mega Knight. I found a lot of decks actually really just didn't have great counters for the Mega Knight at all, so you can kind of take advantage of it. I mean, especially in this one, he had kind of little troops, more kind of like easy to take out quickly too, so that's one thing that I kept in mind, at least while building the deck, is that Mega Knight wise, you're going to be able to do some good counters, not to mention high damage, at least defensive if you really need to, and I figured a lot of people wouldn't be making too many counters for the actual card itself. Now, like I said, E-Dragon, toughest thing to face on this one. Use that Magic Archer if you get the chance. E-Wiz works as well. E-Wiz is going to be great on those Sparkies, and in this case, as you can see, game's over kind of thing. They missed the tower, but I mean, it wouldn't have made much of a difference anyways. If you already used your log, like I needed to, essentially to just whittle down that tower, Skeleton combos with Zap very well, and they don't get too much damage, and you're pretty much par on your actual elixir give and take there. So in this case, it's just going to be knocking down the last 22 seconds. You're going to see me use that rocket again, take out those Sparkies, just do a little bit of defense here, and I mean, they're going to go for the other tower, but it's not too much of an issue anyways, because even if they did get it, I have a big advantage, at least on the other side now, pushing the other way. And that's going to be it on this one. I just figured be a good example where you kind of see a level playing card and also having the rocket in your first hand. So this third replay here is just more going to serve just as an extra example. You don't really need it. If you watch the first two, you're going to be more than adequately prepared. But I figured on this one, I just want to give a little bit of extra in case someone wants to see different type of deck, how to face it with the Giant Skeleton, because you will probably face one of those as well. Now, I didn't have the rocket in hand on this one. They did. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get my tower. But in this case, like I said before, you just want to play defensively. I mean, you got your Electro Wiz there that you're going to be able to use to zap those Sparkies. And then you can use a rocket, especially if they stack up as a defense as well. Now, in this case, unfortunately, I didn't have the rocket for the Sparkies on the other side, so I'm going to have to play a little bit defensive again. But you got the Mega Knight, which works out well. I mean, you got the little skeletons there that you can kind of use, hopefully, to at least take that shot away, and then you'll be able to do damage there. In this case, I just figured I'm going to use it on one, and then I can use the E-Wiz on the other, and then I can use the Lumberjack, to stop the Giant Skeleton in that case. The Magic Archer is great on this, especially if they don't have a Fireball or anything like that. As you can see, getting a decent amount of value, being able to take out multiple troops, or at least whittle their health down and do a bit of damage. So it's going to be, Magic Archer is going to be crucial when you actually play all your matches, and you're going to want to be able to use them adequately and know that you can, at least from the bridge, get their tower and do some damage that way, because you might need to at one point to actually pull off a win. So in this case, you're seeing the rage ability with the Sparkies there, and I was able to get one shot off, but one shot off is more than enough because it really does take down a lot of health. And when you're playing a match where you're doing 1v1 rocket, essentially one after another each person, getting one shot on the tower like that is essentially the difference between you losing and you winning the game pretty easily. So that Lumberjack's ability with the rage is going to be crucial. Mini P.E.K.K.A. again is not too much of an issue. I mean, use E-Wiz, use your Lumberjack, and then there you go. Now all that's left is the Giant Skelly. Here I'm going to drop those skeletons. Just wanted to take that a little extra kind of extra precaution, just in case. I mean, it wasn't going to make too much of a difference, but I mean, for one elixir, it doesn't really matter too much. And as you can see there, Magic Archer was able to hit the tower, still able to hit it there, and had to drop 3 elixir. In this case, I got quite a bit. I mean, they're getting a little more desperate using Mini P.E.K.K.A. when I've got more elixir than them. Mega Knight's coming the other way, Sparky's going the other way. I'm going to let him just essentially with the skeletons take out the Giant Skelly. Use the Magic Archer's ability because I knew they were going to drop the skeletons and the bats. They're going to do a bit of damage there. Use the rockets to take out those Sparkies. And then at this point, then I'm going to drop that Rage, or the, I don't know why I keep saying Rage Barb. Put the Lumberjack on the other side, and then to try and get a few hits at that tower. And if he can get at that tower, that's going to be huge as well. As you can see, Magic Archer again does an extra shot at the tower. Ewiz gets a couple from there, and I mean, he's virtually almost at the bridge. So you really got at least the ranged troops that are going to be able to knock it down, and just one hit, couple hits, gets you within an advantage for your rocket then to eventually finish off the game. So in this case, it's just kind of playing both lanes. There really was a lot of it. I'm going to speed this up because I'm just essentially beating a dead horse with how I'm actually trying to explain this, but I'm hoping at least you'll be able to use this as an example if you got to the 3rd replay and you want to learn more from there. And as we can see, this is going to be the end, and the Sparkies finish it off. So that's going to be it on this one. That's it. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. This is going to be JAG signing off. Peace out. See you later.